You just lost yourself a customer. You think I own this business? You think I own IKEA? I'm a part-time employee halfway through a 2-week notice. I don't give a shit.
All aboard!
Outdoor service owners, rise and shine. It's time to start fueling your success, one adventure at a time. Welcome back to Outdoorsy Entrepreneur, brought to you by Big Tuna Websites, where business owners learn and explore ways to take charge and level up. Today, we're talking about why small business owners should prioritize customer service. We are your hosts. I am Kevin Fontaine, and this is mi amigo Patrick Harders. Join us on this owner's mindset journey every Wednesday. Like, comment, subscribe at our YouTube channel, and listen to wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on our social media platforms at Outdoorsy Boss. What's been shaking, Pat?
Things going well. So it's always August is a slower time for us. It's always January, February, and August when the kids are just getting back to school.
Yeah.
So kind of a chance to reevaluate what we've done for the year and really start implementing things to get ready for the rush in the fall. So this is a great topic today. This is something that I love to talk about. I love getting into the essential and importance of customer service. That's got to be key to building your business.
No doubt. And we saw each other just briefly after your summit event in Virginia. It was good to see you in person again. It's been a while.
In passing, it was my birthday, so you came in and got me some cool. What was the book you got me?
Some swag. It was a cookbook for chicken, how to cook chicken. 50 ways to how you can eat cock.
Yeah.
Had a big rooster on the front. That was so cool.
Yeah.
But how was that summit event this year?
It was good. That was our best one, I think. We had about 65 lighting designers come in. Elepatheria was in. I got to work with her on a design. So she's my favorite designer. It's kind of cool to work with like someone that you really look up to in the industry. And I'm actually supposed to have a call with her this week. We're looking at a project we're going to work on together in Italy.
Damn.
So that should be a lot of fun. And then next year we're going to do the event in Greece. So
damn. Wow.
Yeah. If you're in lighting, that's going to be the big one. End of September, beautiful weather in Greece, and you could go hit the islands for a couple days afterwards. I made the joke, like, no wife's invited. And all these guys came up to me like, my wife will kill me if she can't go to Greece.
Oh my God. I know. That'd be a hell of a trip, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, anybody interested in, Sterling Lighting, they have summits each year. Go to sterlinglighting.com.
Yeah.
And check out their events page. And Pat puts on a really hefty learning platform for outdoor lighting professionals to level up their game and become more of an outdoor lighting designer perspective than just an installer perspective, which most of us have been in for years. Hell yeah. All right. So let's get into, customer service. You have it beginning of sale, it's part of your salesmanship. Talk about customer service that your company may or may not have yet. But, after the sale even is customer service can come into play. So, let's go through some of these key points. I think we often overlook customer service as a key component to our business owner's tool bag. Yeah. And it's a big deal regarding client satisfaction, future growth, referrals, etc. So after sales is done, you have your after sale touches, let's say, and this will build your customer loyalty and possible retention.
Yep. And it's not always reinventing like everything you do, but it's like, is your base and stability there? So like, I read a book, Unreasonable Hospitality, where it's a owner of a restaurant. He's like, how do you deliver like next level service? And always kind of the epicenter, the best one known as, Ritz-Carlton. You go to that hotel, it's much different than going to like an Embassy or, a Hojo or something like that. The level of service you have. So like, how are you delivering like over the top, just thoughtful little things? Like you mentioned after the sale, like, do you send a thank you card, a handwritten thank you card or a little gift? Like Kevin, I know you do a number of things like that where you give that little extra touch and feel to a customer so they feel they're part of your team.
So us as business owners, we level up our pricing, level up our value. Our service offering is nicer, better, bigger, bolder, faster, stronger, we have to then bolster up all our customer service process to make that experience that much better. Because like, Pat, you remember we bought a Mercedes for my wife. I did.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't, but I did. And, the difference between walking in a Kia dealership and a Mercedes dealership's quite different. They have a
Yep.
cappuccino maker. They ask you first thing, hey, can I get you a cool latte or whatever as you wait for the salesman to approach? And they have all kinds of swag. So we've done kind of some of that stuff ourselves with after the sales swag,
Mm-hmm.
services and things like that, just to give them that nice thank you, more of a personal touch with our monogram on it. And we've done beach bags and all kinds of cool things like that too. But I think the whole process from beginning to end and after the sale is
Mm-hmm.
crucial for us as niche service providers, because like you said, that thank you card that's hand signed, or just anything you can do that's more personal
Mm-hmm.
touch to it is super important.
Even the simple thing, it's just the phone call. Like how often do you go back and just call the customer up and go, hey, it's been a month. How is everything?
Excellent. Yeah.
Once a year, checking on we go through and call every customer once a year just to say, hey, I know like life is busy. You don't always think about lighting. Everything working great with your system. Just want to check in and make sure it's those little things. I remember we sent a thank you card and chocolates to a customer for doing like a $20,000 lighting project. And she commented like, my pool guy put in a $400,000 pool. And the day they were done, the trucks loaded up, they drove away, and I never heard from them again.
Yeah,
you guys just
that
did the
happens.
lighting and, sent a thank you card, sent a box of chocolates, giving hats away, things like that. Those little
Yeah.
things that tie
Yeah,
it up.
guys. So, we're talking customer service ongoing from the sale, point of sale till after you're done. But one-off services like a pool build, it's crucial to give them like a thank you package, box of chocolates, a gift basket with cheese, crackers. I like to put in loyalty cards for them, for the one-time customers, because they will often forget about you years down the road. So, loyalty programs is a good way to get them back into your envelope again with new service offerings you may have and all that good stuff. But yeah, some type of thank you after the sale.
Mm-hmm.
And, we do a lot of recurring service, Pat, with landscaping, the maintenance. So we get a lot of opportunities to touch them via newsletters.
Yeah.
But you can also send satisfaction surveys, thank you calls, letters, and all that stuff. With recurring, we can send an account manager there once a month
Mm-hmm.
to knock on the door, say hello, give them a call beforehand, and say, hey, let's walk your property together. It's been a month. Let's go over the lawn, the shrubs, and any future planting needs or things you want to change in your service plan. But, these things we're talking about is reinforcing trust with your customer. It demonstrates a genuine commitment to customer satisfaction and encourages repeat business. And, satisfied customers are way more often going to come back to you and give you future purchases if they had a really pleasant experience during that one-time sale that you did with them. So,
You're building that loyalty, and it costs money to do it. Like to have service that's spot on, where it's like, hey, my lights didn't come on tonight. All right, we'll get someone out there today or tomorrow. Like that's expensive to have somebody that's like ready to go and to build out your company enough to do that. And crap goes wrong. We're at 297 5-star reviews right now. So our goal is to get 300 by the end of the month. But we got our first 1-star review 2 days ago.
okay.
And was it 2 days ago? I think it was Friday. So it was a cafe light system, which I hate cafe lights. Hurricane came through, actually bent the hook straight. And so pulled it out of the tree. We got out there the next day, replaced the lights, reran the cable, did everything, got it up, sent them a bill for $300 for our time and labor. And she flipped out, like, hate this company. And I think it's the big thing is not to panic. So as an immediate, like we get notified as soon as that happens, like 3 different waves, everyone in the company knew about it. We dropped everything, called her up, and it's like, what's going on here? Like, we've had a great relationship. And she's like, I didn't like the bill. I'm like, oh, well, your relationship is more important than the $300. So go ahead and take that off. But you have to build into your service, like you're going to have write-offs. You're going to have times where customers not happy. And like, I would rather give the money. The $300 isn't going to make or break, anything. So I'd rather write that off and say, hey, don't worry about it. You know, we didn't cause it. A hurricane did. And
exactly. That's the big thing, And it's, if you're in a situation where you get an outage or a tree falls on their lawn, make sure you send them a protocol of, hey, we can get to you by XYZ date. Here's our charges if you do have charges, or if you're going to give them the service. Definitely give them a heads up there. After, an effective after sales support can prevent customers from switching to competitors. So the more you can touch these clients of yours with newsletters, surveys, etc., the more apt they are to reach out if there's an issue or if they need something different or a new service. So continual touches definitely improves brand reputation.
Yeah. Newsletters we actually do a mailed out newsletter because my customer base is old. They're over 50. And so I find that like printing and mailing it, it's an expense, but I look at it just as part of my marketing. And we always get calls afterwards, add-ons. My customers look forward to our newsletter. It's a complete pain in the ass to make it.
Yeah.
But they look forward to it. It's little stories of employees. We'll do a little recipe in it, maybe how to eat cock or whatever.
Rooster. Woo!
Yeah, eat some rooster. But I think those touches are just essential to, because it's so easy. People are transient. But a question I have, like when you're looking at a landscape plan, let's say you do an entire landscape project for somebody. How long does that last? Is that about every 10 years, would you say? Every 15 years, somebody changes out all their landscaping and starts over? Or?
Yeah, it's I would say a hefty 10 years, especially if we did a really big redo from the beginning.
Yeah,
I'd say, 10-year refresh, 15-year refresh.
Yeah. And then you have, most people don't live in a home 10 years anymore. So, you're getting their second home, their third home. And when you start adding in like $400, $800 per lead, you just saved all that money. And if you could cut out your marketing, because marketing will flush more cash out of your business than anything else. If you have a marketing program that doesn't work.
How many times have you gotten the phone call from this marketer about, hey, we can get you into the Harris Teeter store, put you on the trash bags, and maybe even get your name on the sign up for the bench.
Yeah,
like,
10 a day.
No thanks.
Garbage. Yeah.
There's all kinds of.
Because I have Sterling Lighting, we call on business owners a lot. And it's amazing. I would say 70% of the companies we call upon, the phone goes to voicemail. Mm-hmm. And you got to think, like, a lot of people, they're looking for, say, your service. And if nobody's answering the phone, that's a big, they just jump to the next person.
Yep.
So
it's definitely emotional sale that we're doing, outdoor service. So.
Outdoor service. And there's 20 guys doing it. So it's like, hey, they didn't answer their phone. This person didn't. I see so often that if you even write up the proposal and give them a proposal, you're beating half your competition because it's shocking to go like, why would you drive all the way out to a job, walk with the customer, spend an hour, and then never send a proposal out or take 3 weeks to get them a proposal? But it happens all the time. Yeah,
you definitely need to hammer down. If you can't quote exactly on site, you definitely got to get them a realm of a range of what your pricing's probably going to be, because you need to get them on board with you as soon as possible. Because the minute you leave, then you're out of sight, out of mind. Then they can call if you're not bringing back a quote that same day or the day after. They're calling other people. I mean, and then, continual touches improves your brand reputation. You're getting more, hopefully, positive word of mouth, because satisfied customers will become advocates of your company. And, that referral system is key. I know referrals, that guerrilla type marketing of, hey, tell 5 people you know about us. We would appreciate it. And, give them an incentive for that possibly. But that's a big one, isn't it, Pat?
Yeah. Referrals huge. And even referrals with trade partners as well. So it's like, if you're going to be really niche, you should be better than anybody else at what you're doing. Like work hard to get to that level so that, I've got a number of patio companies and pool companies that they're like, we'll do lighting, but if it's a big job, I'm probably going to bring it in. And you want to get to that level. So you just become, the guy or girl in your area that is the best at what they do, which just takes time and energy, but it's so important to get that word of mouth, get the referrals. That's, you want to get in a neighborhood and just take over a neighborhood. That's ideal.
Spread it out. Also, the continual touches will manage negative feedback. So, the more often you touch your clients, the more they are apt to tell you about, hey, you guys haven't been pruning my shrub on my kitchen window. It's been bugging me the last couple of weeks. Can you look into that? And like, sure, we'll get that for you. So that's happened a lot, Pat, with my landscape maintenance is if we don't touch them at least once a month with something, a newsletter, a phone call, an account manager on site, then that can build up, these tensions of, my God, they forgot about me. Now my shrub's getting out of control, or I've got too many weeds in the lawn. So they're more apt to tell you things the more often you touch them with your campaigns.
Yeah. Having that open communication. Because you are going to have, like, in this day and age, people write, like my customer wrote a 1-star review. We got her to change it to a 5-star. So you can take any negative situation and turn it into a positive.
Yeah, you learn from your mistakes. So that's always a good learning lesson.
Well, and even like converting that customer into like, hey, having that conversation right away where like bad news doesn't age well. So like address the issue instantly. Like, we're all over this. What do you need? How can we help you? We never want to have anybody say anything bad about us. I'd rather, refund a customer their money and say, you could go on with your life, but I don't want you to think that I took advantage of you. The money's not that important in the end.
Right. End of the day, right? It'll enhance your online reviews. Like Pat's saying, you get some more positive experiences. They may be better apt to post you a testimonial for you. I know with House Call Pro, it's got a great functionality where every time we do a maintenance visit or a recurring service or a one-time installation, it'll ask them, hey, how do we do? Hey, post a review for us. It'll then prompt another automation. If they're happy, it'll say, hey, do you mind posting on our website or Facebook or Google? So it has some cool built-in funnels there where it first tests the temperature of how they had a good experience or not. And then if someone hits no, hey, I had some issues, it kicks back an email to us. So then we can follow up and troubleshoot that as soon as possible.
Yeah, those systems, like the best thing about it is you get notified instantly.
Yeah.
So there's many times I've had a guy pulling out of the driveway and the customer gives us like a frowny face. And I'm like, whoa, Danny, turn around, find out what's going on. Like, so before we've driven an hour back, it's like they're back at the door 5 minutes later being like, oh, I saw you weren't happy. What can I do? And really that it's got to be essential that Google reviews, that's gold.
Yeah.
So building up that list, because if I'm a homeowner and I'm looking for, whatever service, if somebody's got 200, 300, 400, 5-star reviews, that's going to carry more weight than like, you've been in business 10 years, you have six reviews as a company.
Yeah.
You just haven't put any emphasis on it, but it is something, if they don't know you, it's a third-party verification that you're a decent company.
So B2B marketing and service is great. Like you mentioned earlier, partner up with niche services that you may be doing, fences, decks, tree service, lawn, lighting,
even interior
pools.
Designers. Pool companies.
Interior designers is huge. Yeah, because just imagine an interior designer, they're selling a $10,000 couch to their clients.
They run, if you ever work with the interior designers, they run the whole thing where it's like, they're like, we want to put some lighting in, and the homeowner will look over at the interior designer, like, should we do this? And like, yeah, so.
Yes, you should. Yeah, and all these newbies maybe watching, you're a recent business owner, if you've only been in business for less than, say, 5 years, you're going to want to start with the basics. So customer service is all about, hey, how do we do? That
Yeah.
can be a phone call. You may have you yourself on the job. Before you leave, go through a little satisfaction survey that you created on Google and
Yep.
just go over the basics with them. How do we do? Do we satisfy all your needs? Do we deliver a solution for you? Would you recommend us to others? Just have a checklist and ask them if it's okay to put the yard sign out in the yard for a week. You'll pick it up next week, and
Mm-hmm.
put the door hangers 5 down, 5 up,
Yep.
and do the basics. And that'll go a long way to get you started growing your culture, growing your sales, and growing your customer service ability.
Yep.
Start there.
Yeah. And I'll go back. My hardest thing when I started off was the phone. Because it's like you're out there, most of the time I was out there out doing installs, and then I finish the install, I'd start working on designs, and I'd get that customer calling in, and it was so easy to be like, oh, I'll get back with them tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it's like 2 days later, the next day they call and like, hey, I called you twice and nobody, and it's like, I'm not going to be able to say we're a premium company if I'm not managing the phones. And so, whatever it takes, if it's you doing it, bringing somebody in, for a long time I hired my mom to answer phones. And, whatever it takes just to make sure that phone call gets answered so customers heard, and then you finish it off at the end of the day where, you make that call you don't really want to make, but you just suck it up and do it because it's not going to age well if you don't.
Yeah, and we're talking about having that storefront. The first thing about a storefront is having a good website. Big Tuna websites, if you guys haven't heard about them, check them out. They have really affordable plans per month by month, no contracts. Outdoorsy Entrepreneur viewers get a special $100 off. So check the link down in the description below. Beautiful, engaging websites. They can put customer service portals, links on your own website, and ways customers can chat through the website to you, just to make it that much easier for that constant touch factor.
And then training people. If you do hire somebody to answer phones, you have to listen to those phone calls, because it's amazing when I've gone back and listened to someone new on the phone. I'm like, what the hell are you saying?
Exactly.
And so it's like, you have to have that initiation of how do you actually talk to the customers. And we assume they're going to know everything, and nobody knows what we're doing.
Yeah, so that gets us in this next topic is building a customer-centric culture. So you're going to want to hire for attitude. So as you grow, you're going to need employees or subcontractors. So hire them not for just a service, hire them for how they may interact with customers. Or do they genuinely care about what you're doing as a company and a culture?
You have to empower your people. So like anybody in my company is trained up to be able to talk to customers.
Yep.
If you're the whole face of the company and don't allow your people to talk, you're making a big mistake. And you want to encourage them to take ownership on those jobs and really walk customers through all of that.
And give them the authority to make decisions on site without having to call you first.
Yeah. Yeah, those are all key. You want to build a culture that people, they put the customer first. So it's got to be like, part of everything, your mission statement, everything's got to be based here on that customer experience and trying to deliver something. I'd say one of the things you see that happens a lot is like us as owners, we get negative. You'll be like, oh, that customer, she's a pain in the ass. And if you don't watch it, that could permeate through a company really quickly, where it's like, it's always the customer's fault. And so nobody takes ownership of it.
No,
so it's like,
right.
It's got to be like, hey, whatever it is, we own it. We take care of it. And
what did we do wrong? Look internally. And it was a failure in a decision, a failure in a process that you did or didn't have. And so definitely learn from mistakes, build upon that so they hopefully won't recur again in the future. The other thing too, Pat, when you have an active, brilliant employee that's really satisfying customers with their service, their professionalism, their demeanor, their, all that good stuff. Celebrate those employees who go above and beyond in your company.
That communication is, I think it's one of the things that stops businesses from growing, because, probably for both of us, it was like we were the mind behind everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, And most of it, unfortunately, was stored up here. So it's like I would forget to do things. And then once you start getting 3, 4, 5, 10 people working with you, now you have to have a system in place. CRM is essential. Like, do you have ticketing for a service call to make sure that it gets followed up and it's not like, hey, did you ever order those 2 lights for, Nancy Smith? Like, oh crap, I forgot.
Yeah,
Like,
we've got a couple of websites with Big Tuna, and they have a ticketing system. You always email the questions or issues to support@bigtuna.com, and right away, automated response, hey, ticket number yada yada 0014 is in the books. Expect a response by within 24 hours.
yeah,
And so they have this excellent tracking of your issue or your question or an upgrade you needed. I want to add a page or some new pictures, whatever it is. And that's just so reassuring for someone to know they got that immediate response. They expect a date when it's going to be handled, and
yeah,
then boom, off to the races, get it done.
yeah. And eventually you want to get it built up so you do have some gatekeepers because, forever it might as well have been like lighting by Patrick because I'd get the phone calls at 10 o'clock on a Friday night and I'm like, I don't have the energy to deal with this. So it's getting people in place that are like, hey, because I always say, I only want Patrick to come out and do my design. And it's like, oh,
Right.
he's traveling, he's in Danville, whatever he's doing, But Andy has got 3 awards, and so you're building your people up and also like creating a little bit of a barrier. You want to be open to customers when there's problems and there's issues, but getting your team set up so that you're not bearing all the burden of everything that happens in your company because it'll burn you out over time.
Yeah. And all the small business owners out there, if you're getting hit with texts all the time from clients, try to get them in a portal system
Mm-hmm.
where we're talking the website, a CRM, or just an email's fine, but have like a support at yourcompanyname.com, because you got to get them, as soon as they sign up with you, you got to get them funneled over to a process that you're going to put in place where you're not going to get that 10 o'clock text
Yeah.
and it's going to say, hey, if you have issues, email support at yada yada. We'll get back with you. And
This is how
here's
you do
that
it.
method. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got someone dedicated. In Sterling Lighting, I had a customer one time. He's like, he had a downlight or something that stopped working, and so he needed a new electronic driver. So he texted me, and I just assume like everybody knows, like don't text me on crap like that. Like,
Yeah.
that's a service thing, but it
Yeah.
is educating your customers like that. I think the most of the time when there's going to be a problem for my company is when someone sends me a text and me getting the communication. So it's like, here's the proper way. Like that's my response should have been like, here's the person to talk to. They'll take care of you. I got somebody dedicated to that because, I've got so many things going on and I'm already have ADHD and forgetful and everything else and jump into the new shiny object all the time. So
I would say that's a big thing as a small business owner, is really work on what is your customer service process from the sales, from after the sale, during the sale, like checking in, say the project construction is going to take a week. Where are you going to chime in and do a site walkthrough midway so you can make sure we don't have issues at the end? And just what is your process? Put it down on paper, on a Google Doc, and start thinking about you from a customer's point of view. How would you want to be held by your hand through the beginning of a sale, mid before it's done, at the end when it's done? What do you expect in return? Leave behinds, thank yous, instructions, what to do if you get trouble down the road, all that. And then if they're recurring, like a lot of landscape lawn care owners out there, what's your process for touching base with them month by month? Look at your email services, Constant Contact, MailChimp, etc. Look at your website widgets. Look at CRM software such as House Call Pro. Well, there's many others. And just look at ways to automate yourself out of that picture of this minute, small detail things, because you're, as an owner, looking at the big picture. Hopefully, eventually you're going to have that vision, that mission statement in your brain. How am I going to work on that every day and not deal with all these little teeny facets that can just bog your ass down?
yeah. And one thing that's an interesting thing that a good CRM does, like House Call Pro, is getting the lifetime value of a customer. And
Yeah.
I'm always looking to pick up that 1 or 2 people a year, maybe 3 or 4 if I'm lucky, where they just spend money. So it's like all of a sudden they're going up to 70, 80, $150,000 this one person spent with you. And those are the ones I'm going to give special attention to, quick phone call, message on LinkedIn. I just had one of my customers, he's probably at like $200,000-$300,000 on lighting with 3 different properties and just said like, hey, Mike, it's been a long time. We should grab lunch sometime.
Yeah.
So it's, you start getting onto being a peer of that customer instead of like, hey, I'm the lighting guy or I'm the landscaping guy. It's like, taking a little time and giving those customers special attention, which is, best coming from you, but then saying, I'm going to assign Josh. He's my best guy. He's going to handle day-to-day for you. If you have anything, just, reach directly to him and he'll make sure you get priority service and taken care of because you're awesome. And, then when we add like audio to it, it's really easy to call them up and go, all right, we got audio. You want us to come out and put it in? And that's the easiest, $10,000-$20,000 sale you could have is those add-ons and those touch points.
Yeah, because customer service is all about continually farming your own clients, your old clients, having that email list compiled in Constant Contact or wherever, where you can consistently see and classify, hey, this was a lawn care person. This is my client for lighting. You can group clients into groups and then do specialty email marketing newsletters to those specific groups. Like, hey, we got outdoor audio. Hey, we got a new lighting fixture that we're bringing out soon. Hey, we've got a new lawn care plan for fescue homeowners out there. What do you think about this? So, documenting all the specifics about a customer through the CRM, birthdays, special events they may have upcoming is also a great way to be more personalized in your service and say, you know what, Jimmy, Mr. Smith has a birthday coming up. He pays us $2,000 a month in lawn care revenue. Let's go spruce up his mailbox with some flowers because his birthday's Saturday.
Yeah.
Boom. You spend $200 on some flowers, maybe give a Home Depot display flower container, put it on the front porch, that little $50, $100 buy to say, thank you, sir. You're a valued customer to us. And man, that's little things go a long way with clients that you're thinking of them just as you would your mom and pop or brother, sister that, hey, here's a little something that says, I love you, yada, yada. And it's not your birthday, right?
Yeah.
That goes a long way,
Yeah, it does. And I'm the biggest advocate that, when the economy turns and it's a little slower or, it's a slower time of the season, like for us, August, it's those customers that you could really reach out to that's going to pull you through the slow months. And, most projects you're doing, there's always add-ons, lighting. We could keep very few times I get a lighting project where someone says, do everything all at once and, we're done with it. It's typically, they're doing half of what I would like to do and then come back and do another third at another point. Yeah. And so, you need to be with those customers and talking to them. So,
yeah. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up this episode. Comment some customer service tactics or methods you're using in your own company, or if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And, make sure you subscribe to the Outdoorsy Entrepreneur YouTube channel and hit those notifications and listen to wherever you get your podcasts and follow us on our social media platforms at Outdoorsy Boss. Business tools we use and highly recommend. Big tuna websites. We got an Outdoorsy Entrepreneur link in the description below where you save $100 through signing up. It's only month by month, no contracts. Check out House Call Pro's field service software. We've got a special money-saving link in the description, and ZebBit estimation software with a special sign-up link in the description below. Big thanks to everybody listening and watching. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Make it a good Wednesday, everybody.
See you later.
All aboard!